Hey, what's up, everybody? Good evening. First off, Ron Stuff, who had commented early before the stream was live, he said these things are always past his bedtime. I think as the weather changes again, I think like last year, I'll do some of those random afternoon streams. I'll announce them in the Discord and stuff like that. But yeah, when you know, we're getting the last decent weather of the year, still not going to happen. But yeah, and October's busy for me. But yeah, after the time change and the weather, I think probably after the holidays. I even hate to say the word holidays this time of year, but it always comes really fast. Like after that time of year, I think there will be those like Friday afternoon streams again, where you just like wrench on something or get to hang out with people who don't do the 9 o'clock thing. So, and William LeBron said, "Happy 150." Yeah, this is the 150th evening routine. What do you call that? A sesquas sesquicentennial. I can't. I could picture that word sesquicentennial, something like that. Anyways, and then Party Size says us pine cones are the only reason he's coming to Nutmeg this year, which I'll probably jump into that whole situation early on. What's up, Large Marge? What's up, Patty Redbeard? Chris, what's up? Blackball? Other Chris, what's up? Jay Dandy said Rusty and Lanky aren't allowed in before 10. If you watch Lanky's latest video, you'll know why, because yeah, it's kind of a swear fest. But I think it's actually I think what Lanky's on his 5th cyclocross vlog. Out of all of them, it's definitely my favorite. It's the most fun. So, hey, what's up? Oh, there's Rusty right there. What's up? Yeah, I just watched the, it probably, well, it either only came out today or yesterday, or yesterday or today anyways, but I just watched Lanky's latest a couple hours ago when I was eating dinner, or when I got back from dinner. But yeah, that's a great. You should check that out. Rusty and Lanky racing each other in the single speed category in Burton, Ohio cyclocross race. It's a pretty fun video to watch. So, what's up, Whiskey Six? Pudgy said 150 is impressive, given I cancel 7 out of the 8. I don't cancel that many in the winter. Only in the summer and the fall and the spring and when I travel and when I'm not feeling well. Yeah, Whiskey, what's up? Cheesy Rider, how's it going? Hey, what's up? Oh, you said yeah, Party Size going. Party Size has been to what? This will be your third Nutmeg, right? Because you went to the uh, 2021 that was just kind of a route, right? Where people kind of met a little bit at the ferry, but there was no real congregation. I know a couple people were like let down with the one this year because it's not going to have a central location, but it sounds like it's going to be a hybrid of what happened last year and what happened in 2020, where there's going to be a route, but we're all going to, like, anyone who wants to camp will be able to camp at one spot. So there is a spot for camping and there is going to be food there. So that was the thing that made me still want to do it. And I know a couple other people had kind of expressed the same thing. And I know Dylan said it's too far for him to drive for like 2 days and on short notice, which I totally understand. But we've we've planned an entire week around it. And when I say we, I mean uh, me, Aaron, and Large, and then also Funny Brad and our buddy Mike Maris are going to be there for Nutmeg too. And the day before, where we're going to stop in Albany for a night, and probably the day after. And some of you guys might have remember Mike Maris is the metal sculpture artist I'm friends with, who lived in LA and he's just moved back. He's been on the stream before. So, yeah. Rusty saying Lanky's videos is the most fun because he's in it. Yeah, you did make it fun, Rusty. Yeah, Rusty. In that video, also you could point out the fact that, as Lanky points out, that you probably drank like 6 beers, which I absolutely believe as well. So, party size about Nutmeg. You're saying you did the Sufferfest the last time it was bike packing. It's going to have a big effect on what Nutmeg is like, what the weather is like. So last year we were lucky that the riding day was really nice. The night was cold, but at Nutmeg last year it was really easy to deal with the cold night because it was basically, well, for us it was car camping. I know some people, I watched videos like Rides with Woodies where he was bike packing it into Nutmeg and out back to the train to New York City. But it was easy to manage the cold when you could bring anything you want in your car. This year is going to be a little different because my bike packing setups, uh, my capacity is fairly minimal, so we'll see. But I do have a couple down quilts now, which are easy to pack and stuff like that. So, oh, D, you were saying that you can't go because you have the cyclocross race. That's right. The other event that I'm going to go to now, and kind of a last minute decision, is the higher ground one. And Woody, who's on the same cyclocross team, the Joy Machines racing team, I thought he was going. And when I signed up, I was texting him that day. I'm like, "Are you going to this?" And he said, "Nah, he needed to be at the cross race." And then I was like, "You know what? I'm going to go anyways." Like Johnstown, PA is only 3 hours from here, so this is October 15th, a week from Saturday. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I've busted my ass all summer. I've been busy. I didn't get to do as much bike packing and community events as I wanted to do, like, group ride type stuff. So I was like, I'm going to do this. And then so I brought it up to Funny Brad last night, and Funny Brad was like, heck, I'm in. I'll leave work early on Friday. So he's going to come. And now I think Aaron is even talking about going. So yeah, party size. I almost was going to DM you a while ago. I was like, should I order one from your site or should I get one next time I'm at Joy Machines? So, but I definitely want to grab one for sure. Hey, what's up, Nathan Mace? Yeah, I've never met, well, Jared from Hope, who runs Hope Cyclery, which is the bike shop that is like hosting Higher Ground. Let's see. They had reopened the sign up. It was supposed to close. It says September 26th here, but it's reopened till the 10th or till they filled 50 more spots. But I didn't. I've seen him. I saw him at Nutmeg last year, and he was taking photos as we were crossing a bridge. And I said a hello in passing and knew who he was, but haven't really hung out with those guys. But I know you and Woody got to hang out with them and meet them a little bit. And Woody even did like I think were you with him like the preview ride for what this is going to be. And when I was texting with Woody, he was like, even though I can't make it, you should go. The route's going to be awesome. I didn't sign up for the 100. The 100 is 100 miles and like 10,000 feet of climbing. And I'm like, oh man, that's a little much. So I signed up for the 69 ish, which is 73 miles and still like 7,000 feet of climbing. So still going to be a tough day out, even not racing it. I'm just going to be riding it for, me and Funny Brad will ride it for fun. But I think it'll still be really, really, really cool. So yeah, I'm glad to go out. Going to be excited to head up to that one. Hey, what's up, Dimitri? Oh, that's right. You also. That's right. D. You hung out with them at Hodog. Jeff Frain's ride out in what that? That's Minnesota, right? It was his parents' farm. Yeah. I was almost gonna hit up Woody because if you guys don't know, Woody is Roach Clips. If you follow him on Instagram or what he does, which is like, do I have one sitting here? They're on my single speed over there. The like I think I do have one over there. I'll grab it in a minute. Like the dice and 3D printed stuff, like valve stem caps and roach clips, caps for your tires, for your tubes, actually. But well, I guess it depends on if you have tubes or not. But yeah, I was gonna like hit him up and be like, "Do you need?" Because I know Hope Cyclery sells like roach clip stuff. Like, hey, do you need to save on shipping and have me bring a box out to the bike shop out there? So, oh yeah, Hodag, however you pronounce that, was in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. Cool. Hey, what's up, Sam? Sam said 1,000 feet of climbing every 10 miles is the sweet spot. Yeah, it is to a point. For me, where I like, like I said, we live on the edge of a valley and we have short, punchy climbs all the time. But 100 miles and 10,000 feet is still a long day out. Like when I've done centuries, they've only been a couple thousand feet. The hardest, I think, climbing thing I ever did was we have an event here in I guess central Ohio, a little north of that, but Black Fork Gravel Grinder. I think that was 66 miles and about a little over 6,000 feet. and those were steep gravel climbs, and I was done at the end of that ride. I was dead tired. So oh, gotcha, party size. I mean, I wouldn't drive up to. It would be like if I was happened to be up there for a ride, or have them bring me something to one of the cyclocross races. So yeah, so I guess like you said, though, like everyone in cycling kind of talks about that as what the it's not really 1 to 1, but like that golden ratio of 1,000 feet for 10 miles, right? But that depends on the distance and what kind of climbing you're used to doing. And for me, yeah, 40, 60 miles at that I can do 100, and even the 73 miles out at higher ground is going to be. I think it's going to be a long day, but that's fine. The cool thing is the camping there is like right in the city. I think Jay Dandy's here. We'll get a Google map up. No, I know it is. I'm not. I don't think it is. Got all the stuff that I've been looking at up there. So, where are we? Yeah. So the camping at for higher ground is just right here. So super cool. The city and the bike shop and everything are just. I think the bike shop's up this way, but yeah, there's breweries, stuff like that. Yeah, so it's 2 nights of just camping in the city, and then so we're our goal is to get in. I want to leave. I have to work till 3 on Friday, so I have to. Yeah, I have a photo shoot that's supposed to end at 3. I think every year I do it, it actually usually ends up ending like a little after 2. So I'm hoping I could be back here with my stuff ready to go, and depending on who decides to go, we jump in the car and head out because, as they posted here, Crust is hosting a Crust Bikes is hosting a happy hour at the bike shop on Friday. So I don't know what happy hour time is. I'm sure we'll get an email with that, but I'm hoping we can make it to that. And even if it's set up our tents and catch the tail end in case everyone decides to move to a bar or brewery or go back to camp, we just are there to know what's going on. But if you watched any of the Crust videos with the group they hang out with, I don't think that's going to be ending super early. So but I just want to catch up with them to know what's going on and all that stuff. So, oh wait, I don't. Do I not have that on the screen? Did I have it on the screen for a second? Yeah. So, yeah, it says our friends over at Crust Bikes will be holding a happy hour at the shop Friday night. So we'll see. Party size says. Oh wait, I clicked the wrong buttons here. Am I back on? Whoops. There we go. And no focus. Party size says for every 10 pounds over 250, the golden ratio is reduced by 100 feet. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Charles Foster? He says so much climbing, lightweight rodineering bike, more suited than a tourer. Yeah. So the good thing about higher ground is since you don't have to carry just day gear, since we're camping back in the location. So this will be car camping. Like I am not acclimated to the cooler weather. Even today, riding back in just the early evening when it dropped into like the 50s, I'm like putting my gloves on, which I in spring, my spring Tim would be laughing at me for that, like 59 in gloves, but whatever, not acclimated. So like for car camping, I'm going to be bringing everything for higher ground to be warm. But yeah, for the day ride, I'm just going to be riding my Raleigh gravel bike with probably my Swift Catalyst, just with snacks and stuff to change a spare, and depending on what the weather looks like, extra layers or layers to take off after the morning type stuff. So it'll be, but it's supposed to be. They said 40 mil tires are the sweet spot for this ride. I, I, you know, I think 40 mil is too skinny for anything that's 50% gravel and dirt. I would always go wider, but my bike only takes 42, so that's where I'll be at. But Cheesy Rider said, "Isn't Johnston the town that got washed out by that flood?" I don't know that. I don't know anything about the history of the town. That wouldn't surprise me. If you look at the map, it is a like in a tight river valley. So that would not surprise me at all. If you see where it sits, it's just sitting here in this like valley between ridges. So Sam DS said crust folks do know how to throw a party. Yeah, just from watching their videos. Obviously at Nutmeg last year they were all only what's the name of the two owners of Crust. My mind goes blank when I need to think of stuff I know like the back of my hand. But the guy wasn't there. I can't think of either of their names now. My mind just going blank. But they were dancing late on Saturday night and having like doing limbo and stuff like that and having a good time. But also that from personal experience. But from watching their videos, it looks like they usually have a good time too. Oh, Dragon, you said you like riding in the cooler weather, but not when it's really windy like it has been here. We've kind of had the same thing. Like, I've most of my rides these last 2 weeks have been commutes into downtown Akron. I've been doing a ton of work with the university and some other things, and a couple longer rides. Me and Large went on one Sunday. That was a long ride, and yeah, just brutal headwind the entire way back. But yeah, which made it feel much colder than it would have normally. So. Charles, my 42s are the Renaers Hurricane Ridges, but yeah, I know people like marathons. Marathons are heavier tires, though, right? They're just bulletproof. People usually use those for touring, I believe, because they're not a flat protection. But oh, Dragon said the Johnston flood was. Is it? Do people pronounce it there Johnstown or Johnston? Because I don't know, but I'm sure I'll find out when I say it wrong. But Johnstown flood was a wacky story. You should read up on it. WTYP did a podcast about it. Huh, yeah. Oh, Lanky, what's up, man? We were talking about the latest video a few minutes ago. Read the Johnstown flood by David McCullough. Oh, he wrote a book about it, so that's a huge event, huh? I'm surprised with what a history nerd I am that doesn't ring a huge bell. But yeah. Okay, Cheesy Rider said there was a dam that burst that killed 300 people. I guess that's sounding a little familiar. But yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't ring more of a bell with just that seems like one of those random historical facts that, as you guys know, I ramble on about is something I would know. Oh, Matt and Cheech. Thanks, Pudgy and Sam. Yeah, Matt and Cheech. Yeah, so if Matt was at Nutmeg last year, I didn't see him. I don't think he was, but yeah, Cheech was there. Cheech actually signed me in at Nutmeg. But like I said, like they were having a good dance party late in the evening on Saturday. What does WTYP stand for? Bill, you said you love your hurricane ridges, but you just got some oracle ridges to try. Nice. I kind of want to put some of the Renee Hurst slicks on my Marin build. Put some of those and try them out. Since I've just turned out that I'm not riding that bike off road like I thought I might, and riding it more as a touring bike. I'd like to try some of those lightweight ones. I'm trying to think. I can't think what the name of those, but like wide, like 2 inch like slicks. I got so many fruit flies around here; they're driving me crazy. Sorry. Getting the last produce out of the garden, and that's what'll happen. Oh, party size. So it is Johnstown. Okay, that seems like something you would say in the middle of Pennsylvania. Oh, that was So that was David McCulloch's first book. Interesting. So Johnstown, they were a town of 60,000 people at the height of steel, and now it's at 20K. Oh, a lot of abandoned stuff. Yeah, I guess that, flood or not, that wouldn't be that surprising to see something like that happen in Pennsylvania, or like, you know, here in Akron, we're a bigger city, but the ratio of people we've lost isn't that far off. So, well, there's your problem is the name of the podcast. Got you guys. A podcast about engineering disasters. I've been going down this crazy cosmos rabbit hole lately. Channel called Cool Worlds, which is run by the like astronomy department out of Princeton. Is it Princeton? I don't know. Either way, like I've just been going down this like I just haven't like paid that much attention to astronomy lately, and which is funny because everyone's paying attention because the James Webb Telescope. But it's funny I've like got into it in spite of the James Webb Telescope, which the fact that I've been going down this rabbit hole lately will make it even better when the real discoveries start coming through with that. But just a lot of the stuff I know, like understanding relativity and like speed of light or near speed of light travel, moving you into the future, and just the vast distances of space. But to like go back and like get a refresher on all that and just have your mind blown all over again is just, I don't know, so interesting to me. But I like once in a while I go down these rabbit holes of like that kind of stuff, and then also like a few years ago I like got into quantum mechanics, which is also just completely insanely different in a totally opposite way since it doesn't follow physics, you know, and we don't understand how the two could be different. Anyways, usually like bikes, cameras, and history are my main three that I'm always on, and then once in a while it's one of these little side like things that'll kick in, something like engineering, you know. I'll probably check out this podcast and then go down some total engineering rabbit hole too. So hey, what's up, Mike? Good morning from South Africa. Awesome. Yeah, Charles Foster said Lanky's video is viewer discretion advised. That's for sure. That's one of the great things about YouTube, though, is like, especially like not worrying about like advertising stuff and all that, like, is to be able to like have unfiltered content. You know what I mean? It's like when you watch a YouTube video and they filter everything, I'm like, come on, you got a good video, just do it. Like, so you lose some ad revenue. Like, oh, party size, you worked out towards Johnstown for a CBS affiliate. Interesting. Huh. I guess I haven't seen any of the Not Just Bike stuff that has that podcast on there because I what I have been watching Not Just Bikes for the last couple years. So, oh, Chris, you said you've been on a kick about Revolutions by Dan Carlin. Yeah, I'll drop the channel I was talking about. I should just because I was talking about it in case anyone wants to watch a really good astronomy or podcast. It's on YouTube. What's the difference? It's a video podcast, right? It's one of those that I like the fact that it's backed up by a university, so it's not just some guy talking. You know what I mean? Like it is some guy talking with really good animations, but it's a team of people who actually this is their field and they study it, and they're talking about other people who study it. So, you know, one of those. I think that to me that makes a difference because anyone could say whatever they want on YouTube, right? Like as Dustin Klein always says, I'm just some guy on the internet. I watch a Dustin Klein video when he gets into topics, and I don't always agree with him, but it doesn't mean, you know. Yeah, this is Cool Worlds, and where's the about? I'm saying Princeton, but I don't think that's right. Playlist, community store, channel, about Columbia. So based on based at the Department of Astronomy at Columbia University. So, anywho, if you guys want to get nerdy about that kind of stuff, go for it. Am I not seeing a comment? You guys are talking about stuff that's going over my head. Or are you guys making jokes about a podcast I'm not familiar with? Oh, not Dragon. You were saying not just bikes was on WTYP and not the other way around. Gotcha. I was going to write that down. Oh, yeah. The other one you suggested, Do Not Eat on YouTube. You know, it's funny. I don't listen to a lot of audio podcasts because if I'm going to go audio only, I'm either listening to music or NPR. NPR, the original podcast, you know. But so it's more like when I sit down for lunch or dinner or just to take a break, I'm watching YouTube. So I do kind of prefer like having the visual element. I don't have commutes either, and if I do commute, it's by bike, and I don't listen to anything when I ride. So just the way my life is. So. Oh yeah, I pull this up before I forget, before I get totally off topic and we go down, which is fine. Which is always a fun part of this channel, or the live streams. This is the thing for Saturday, the Bandit Cross put on by uh, John, Amped John on Instagram. But if you guys remember, I had live on Swelter Cycling, and he was 50%. He's up here in the Cleveland area now, but he's putting on this Bandit Cross race at Forest Hills Park. So this is Saturday, 10/8. Registration at 4, race at 5, 3 races. Uh, men's division, women's division, non-binary division. I don't know if I'm going to race or if I'm just going to document it. I'm going to ride up, though. So I think I'm meeting Micah, who you guys met too, Genuine Article. He's the one that's on the Fool's Loop and all those crazy rides with AJ. So I think me, him, and then Funny Brad expressed interest in riding up to Cleveland. So leave here at noonish so we could go get some food and then head over here. I've never been to Forest Hills Park. I'll pull up a map of that as well because I should see what there is to eat around there if we're going to go downtown first. Whoops. Let's see. Oh, I think it's this area here, which would make sense as you can see all these trails, which from home would be directions on a bike. Yeah, 37 miles, so a little longer if we swung through Cleveland to hit a brewery or something for lunch. Straight towpath ride, you know, around 3 hours. But yeah, so if anyone's local, I think Roach Clips is helping sponsor Joy Machines as well. And then, yeah, Heavy Pedal. So this should be fun. Fun to hang out at. Hopefully, like I said, might ride it. Might just have my GoPros and my camera and might just film it all. So. That's right, Jay Dandy. Rusty, are you guys? Is like the whole and if Bill, if you're still here, is the whole crew coming out to this race on Saturday? Bike picks. I do remember bike picks, Pudgy. I I invented bike picks. That was my creation. We could still do other things once in a while. Oh, nice. I see some people have dropped links to the podcasts we're talking about in the Discord. That'll be cool. Even better for me to remember than my, you know, random notebook down here. I come back down to stream sometimes and I see something. I'm like, oh, bookmark that. And I've forgotten about it from the week previous. So you'll be there, Rusty. I assume Woody will be there since Roach Clips is sponsoring. Yeah, he messaged the Rats group about we need to get out to some of the cross races, which I do. I've just haven't had time. Like the one Joy Machine sponsors, Heck of the North, I'll definitely be out to that one. And then the Ohio State Championships, which are in Peninsula, which is an easy ride for us. I'll definitely be at that one. But yeah, I haven't had the chance, been too busy to make the other ones. So yeah, then so Party Size is doing Nutmeg. I know I saw oh David, how is his last name? Cordorola was on the list for Bike Reg, but I didn't see a lot of other people that we know from the channel heading out this year. It might be because the way it's set up and people's schedules and all that, but so. But yeah, Nutmeg will be like a little different, like an overnighter. What we're doing is we are, like I said, going to Albany on Thursday night to break up the drive, and then we're staying. Let's see. X out all this. Yeah, so we have a Airbnb on the coast this year for Nutmeg, and me and a few friends are staying down here. And then Chester is where it like officially starts, which is just up here with about 10 miles. So we've rented an Airbnb for 3 days, so we won't use it on Saturday when we're camping, but it gives us a place to leave the car. So go from Albany, get in, spend the night in an Airbnb down here on the beach. It's like a cottage. And then, yeah, the day of the ride, we'll ride up and meet everyone at Chester, which I think crosses the ferry here at the castle. Do the ride, camp wherever the camping is. He hasn't announced the route yet. And then the next day, we'll ride back and spend the night there. And then what we're doing is Aaron's driving, but I think me and Large will probably, if we could find a good route, we're going to camp up on the Hudson at Croton State Park and then ride a gravel route into New York City. So we're staying over in Brooklyn in, not Bushwick. I think maybe Bedford. So, yeah, spend a couple nights in Brooklyn, get into Brooklyn, have one day to ride around New York, and then maybe take the Empire Trail back out to where our car will be, and that'll probably be our trip. So, yeah, like making a whole week out of Nutmeg. I've never been to Albany, so getting to check out Albany on Thursday night, and then I just felt like that was a good way to have 3 days at the Airbnb, like in Connecticut, because there's 5 of us, so even not using it one night is still worth having a place to keep the car and extra gear and all that kind of stuff. So. Party size, I could also hit you up. I did see what you asked Ron on the blog, and maybe there's parking where we're staying. And also, we have room for 6, but our friend Mike might have someone coming with us who hasn't confirmed. So I'll DM you party size. But if you were interested, there's a chance if you wanted to stay with us 1 or 2 nights that you could. I need to find out though. So Sam asked if I'm meeting up with Terry. I haven't messaged him yet. I just saw that I don't know if you guys saw Terry Berenson broke his foot. He ran into a car. Like he said, he rides the way he rides. He said it was his fault. But yeah, I think I'm going to let him know that we're going to be there. And I'm just going to be like, throw it out there. Be like, hey, if you have time to meet up for a beer or do any part of riding, cool. If not, no worries. I know people have their own lives and are busy. But he's always said to hit him up if we end up in the area, so I will. Probably in the next few days because it's getting close. So party sizes after going to the hood. I I I absolutely love New York City. Large has never been there. Um, I rode around with Aaron a little bit once. We mostly went up. When me and Aaron rode, we rented a bike over in like Two Bridges or somewhere, probably even farther down. Yeah, somewhere down here by the piers. And we just rode the bike paths because you could ride that bike path all the way up the Hudson. And I had never been to the Bronx actually. So we rode up in, I think right here is where like the bike paths kind of end in Inwood. And then we cut over into the Bronx. But she was kind of done with riding a rented bike. She didn't enjoy it at all. She jumped on the subway and went back. I rode around a bunch more. I rode over to the Bronx Brewery, then Randall's Island, and they have a bike only bridge right here, this Ward's Island Bridge. I rode over that, then I just like kind of crushed it through Midtown and all that and met her over like where Chrome used to have a store in Soho actually. But yeah, I had a blast. And then we rode city bikes like a couple times the rest of the week, but so I'm looking forward to having my own bike in New York City. Like originally I was thinking I'd bring the Marin on Nutmeg, but the fact that New York City is going to be part of the trip, I want to have my rally and I want to like be able to rip around New York on my rallies. So yeah, Charles, we're not staying in Williamsburg. Like you can't get man, Williamsburg, Manhattan. Last time I was in New York, we actually stayed in Two Bridges. And we got a place that wasn't that expensive. Wasn't crazy expensive. It's not on the list anymore. Where are we? Okay, yeah. So the 10 Bells, we went there. That was a natural wine bar. So we were in that, but we were out closer to the water. Oh, Two Bridges. Here you go. Yeah, Mr. Fong's was right around the corner. That's actually where the key for our Airbnb was. So somewhere in Chinatown in this block, somewhere around here. But yeah, nothing is affordable there. Nothing is affordable in Williamsburg anymore. So that's why we're like out towards more towards Bed-Stuy, I think, where party size is saying there's some rough neighborhood. Yeah, man, is even that deep in Brooklyn? Is there anything that rough anymore? Like, I'll take your word for it, but I'm just not too worried in New York anymore. There's so much activity that, especially if you're on your bike, you just feel like, you know, I guess, I mean, definitely look around before we like hop off and go into the place, but it looks like a brownstone. It doesn't look that shady, so. Oh, Jay Dandy asked, nobody did the dirty water route this year. Did that already happen, that ride? So. Dimitri said you've only stayed up with parents and friends way up north in the Bronx. Aren't there still? Isn't like if you talked about like the worst parts of New York City, wouldn't there still be certain neighborhoods in the Bronx? Like I'm saying this out of ignorance. I don't actually know. Um, where I was in the Bronx, which was oh yeah, so I rode past Yankee Stadium, and then kind of cut through here because I know I went to the Bronx Brewery. Uh, I also stopped at some kind of food market that was really cool that had good beer on the way there. Uh, Usually Google Maps will show you everything you've ever done, but I can't remember where that was. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. The parts I was in didn't feel. I mean, if you're not racist, it didn't feel bad. Like, yes, we're definitely in the minority as white people in certain parts, but there was no safety issues. You know what I mean? Like, I know plenty of people are like, "Oh, that's a bad neighborhood," and it's just because they're not used to not being majority white neighborhood, and anything that's not must be sketchy. So, Oh, Dirty Water Out was this past weekend. Huh. Dimitri, you've been saying you want to go back to New York for the last 10 years. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've been to New York City. Probably six now. I just always love it. Went as a kid, just did the tour stuff with my parents. Went as the next time I went when I was a little older, I went actually to see Shane McGowan from the Pogues. He actually played on Randall's Island. The Guinness Fest? It must be in these fields over here. I would guess. Yeah. Oh, or was it down? I don't remember. I didn't know where we were, but saw Elvis Costello, saw Shane McGowan. It was a great weekend. But yeah, then went back a number of times with friends when I was in a band and mostly hung out in the Lower East Side when there were still remnants of like the punk rock scene down in the Lower East Side. Um, One thing that's funny is we walked over to CBGB's. I think it might have been the last year or two it was open, and it was too late at night. And it was that night it just happened not having anything going on, and so I never got to go inside CBGB's. So didn't know at the time it would close, obviously. So oh, you were up at 242nd Street, yeah. Party Size says the industrial parts of Bed-Stuy are still bad as of 7 or 8 years ago. So I'm talking like a similar time frame here. Party Size, where certain parts of like even the Lower East Side still had some like you know remnants of the dive bars and the punk rock scene, and now they like some of those blocks that we were going to, like a bar called the Mars Bar, which Vice recommended in their like cool places in New York you should check out, was one of the sketchiest bars I've ever been to. Now is like a glass tower condo. So, you know, I'm not saying that's not true, but there's a good chance that, because first all the people who couldn't afford the Lower East Side moved over to Williamsburg. That's when Williamsburg went through the roof, and now I'm guessing with where Bed-Stuy is, that same thing has probably happened in certain parts. So, oh, Blackball, you saw many shows at CBGB. So yeah, I probably started going to New York around like I as an adult. Like I wasn't when I went a number of times. Would have been more like after '05, '07 type. You know. Whiskey, you said you want to do the TD5 Borough Bike Tour in New York City. Yeah, channel member. He doesn't comment for 2 days, and I'm going to forget Rick's name. Rick did it last year, and then we had him on. There's a live stream on the channel interviewing him about what it was like, and Terry Berenson obviously did it too. But there's a group from Cleveland and Akron on Facebook. I don't know if you're on Facebook, Whiskey, that is like planning like a group to head up there together next year. So I have it loosely on my list. It's not priority to me. I think it's going to be more fun to go like in fall and ride around at my own pace, but it's something I would consider doing. So Charles Foster said dated a girl from Jackson Heights. Is Jackson Heights Brooklyn? All right, I mean, we were kind of talking about the Bronx. I am definitely not a New York City expert. Jackson Heights. Okay, so is that Queens? No, Queens is farther. I guess that'd be more like Queens, right? Oh, Max's Kansas City. That closed a long time ago, right? Though. I mean, I know. I mean, I have albums from that recorded live at Max's. The Heartbreakers, one of the Heartbreak, not Tom Petty, Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers with Richard Hell recorded live at Max's Kansas City. So Oh, Black Ball. Rick is taking a break. He can't ride right now. He didn't really say why, and I'm not going to ask medical details on anyone, but he was just basically saying health issues are preventing him from riding. And so Rick Urbanowski, you guys know, um, who's been a mainstay for a long time, who I went and rode with in Philly, just having some kind of health issues. And he was just saying that the fact that he can't be on bikes makes him not really want to engage right now, which is understandable. It's probably it's depressing to hear people talk about bikes when you can't ride bikes, and that's one of your favorite things to do, right? So, what was the joke someone typed? Oh, Cheesy Riders. The definition of a liberal, a conservative that hasn't been mugged yet. A conservative that hasn't been mugged yet. Wouldn't that be? I mean, to try and follow that storyline as a joke, wouldn't that be the reverse definition of a liberal, a conservative that hasn't been mugged yet? Oh, I guess, yeah. Might be a. Pudgy's right though. There are a bunch of bike picks we could look at. Yeah, I just wanted so three cool events that are happening 3 weekends in a row, and like I said, I'm just like I did like the big trip, CNO and Gap Trail this summer, but last summer I got to do a lot of overnighters and like have we're just kind of always jumping on the bikes and just like getting away. And this year I just had so many weekend jobs and just been so busy. And I'm not saying this like a negative. It's good. I'm a freelancer. I need to be working to make money. But now all that work I've done over the summer, I'm like getting paid for, and I have a couple weekends free here in October, and I've decided I'm going to take advantage of them. So, yeah, heading up to Cleveland this weekend, heading out to Johnstown next weekend, and then a whole week in Nutmeg in New York, and I'm just really excited for it. And then the weather's going to be turning and hopefully hunkering down, hopefully actually doing some of the stuff I've talked about with this channel, getting all the swag up and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and just, being caught up on work and not feeling like I'm running constantly. We'll see. Also, I've mentioned like have a friend who's going to be helping me out a little bit around here, uh, doing some events, hopefully doing some editing. Really good photographer, but just needs to be caught up on speed on a couple things. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes. But I said no complaints. I hope nothing I ever say when I talk about work and being busy comes across like complaining. I'm not, but I'm just excited to be able to do some fun bike stuff, more than just day rides or uh, commutes. But Cheesy Rider said sorry to all conservatives and liberals. All right, see you, Lanky. Lanky, are you going to be at the Bandit Cross race? Will I see you this weekend? Yeah, Lanky, check your brakes. Yeah, the Heck of the North is what the Joy Machine sponsored cyclocross race is. What, on the 30th? Saturday the 30th, where you guys are saying the fat bike challenge. Now I'm like, the more you guys talk about this, I'm almost going to get like a fat bike, borrow one from Dirty River and just race this for the hell of it. But yeah. Yeah, on all these trips, I'm hoping we get good weather. It's going to be cool on Saturday for the ride up to Cleveland. Cool for, I mean, probably right on for this time of year. But it doesn't look like a chance of rain. Uh, Hopefully for these next couple events, we get lucky on the weather. So, oh, Lanky said you might be up there, but you won't race, might ride up. Awesome. Um, yeah, depending on your timing, we're gonna towpath it all the way up, like I said, and get lunch somewhere. So I think leaving, like I said, leaving here, we're gonna leave here around noon. So what does that put us up your way about a little before 1? So I've only ridden fat bikes around for the heck of it. Like when someone has one, I've jumped on it. But Dimitri, you said you want to find some new trails, but you think you've ridden most of the trails around Toronto. Toronto's a big place. Are you sure? We still find new stuff around Akron once in a while, but yeah. I mean, that's my thing in general. I don't like to drive to ride all the time, but I think this month doing it is going to be worthwhile to get to meet some new people and get to see some new terrain. In general, I'm the same way. I'd rather just jump on my bike and hope to find stuff, but Rusty would be awesome to have some dirty river bicycle cruise on Fatties at the heck of the North. For the heck of it, yes, for the heck of it. I didn't even realize that. Hey, what's up, Jason Gates? Oh, Chris, you have a Pugsley, kind of the original fat bike, or the original reasonable mass-produced fat bike. We have one that's been passed around the group. It's too small for me, but Large had it for a while. Then Funny Brad had it, but our one of our friends, White, had it first and passed it along. But yeah, I've never needed one. I wouldn't ride it enough to own one, but to go up and have a fat bike challenge at the heck of the North would be fun. And I'm guessing Otis from Dirty River has something that he'd be able to lend me. So Charles says cross race riders should study the methods of Sean Kelly and how he used his shoulder on the turn to push another rider. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, those early Surly Pugsleys, did they change that eventually? That had the offset chain stays, which is really wild looking. Yeah. Shouldering on a fat bike. Ouch. What's up, Dylan? How the heck of the North will actually be in a completely new location, though. I'm picturing the route that they've had for years past, but the Cleveland Metro Parks won't let them have it there anymore now that they built their pedestrian bridge over to Whiskey Island. So Rusty, what you do doesn't matter. You're a glutton for punishment. Get it? Oh, Chris, you said you have two sets of wheels, a 26 by 4 and 29 by 2.8, just to make it a fun all year bike. That's a good way to do it, Chris, to get more use out of it. Yeah, that makes total sense. And I get people who live in like total you know like Minneapolis where you have like groomed trails to ride in the winter where we don't. I like the advantages of a fat bike in winter here are almost minimal. Like studded tires on my old 26-inch wheel mountain bike are just as good for what we have to deal with. But Rusty, don't king shame me. Charles, you said you have a cross check from 2006. Yeah. Albert, our one friend that we ride with all the time and owns the coffee shops. Cross checks are one of no, he doesn't have a cross check. He rides the no, those are cross checks. Yeah. And my buddy Brad bought one of Otis's really early, not funny Brad, the Columbus Brad, bought a really early cross check off Otis, a green one. But Chris said they kept the rear offset. Kind of cool. If you kill your hub, you can flop the front and rear. Huh. I wonder if I could. Let's see. What did I call that video? I have a picture of like one of the early Pugsleys. It might even be like the first year. It's large on it, but let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's large on an early. I think it's a Pugsley, right? Is Large still here? Little time lapse, but he needs to be behind me or it doesn't do any good, huh? I think it's only at the beginning and it's, yeah. I think it was on this ride that I first noticed that that bike had that crazy offset. But yeah, I think Funny Brad still has this bike now. So, anywho. Oh, Sam, you just totaled your cross check. That sucks. Let's see. I did have. Why is the desktop audio not working? Oh, oh yeah, that's when Brad brought. Yeah, he bought this cross check from Otis. Hmm. I'm trying to remember what year it is. It's an early one. That was a cool day too. Yeah, it's that off green one. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, Charles, you said you bet you put 18,000 on yours. Yeah, the cross check is man, what? It doesn't clear crazy wide tires, right? But it almost, I mean, it's like a proto gravel bike. Wouldn't you guys consider the early ones like that? I mean, it does what so many bikes now are built to do, right? Steel bikes. So, oh, Patty, you bought yours in 2011. Thinking of rebuilding, swapping out handlebars on it again. Maybe some Venture Maxes this time. Oh, and Dylan said he loves the Venture Maxes on his tumbleweed. Yeah. Cheesy Rider, that winter ride I showed right there probably wasn't as cold as the cross-check ride. But yeah, we don't have the coldest weather here, but there are some cold days, but you just adjust, you know, get the right gear. I'd say there is no bad weather, just bad clothing. I don't agree with that at all, but yeah, Rusty said downtown Akron has so much potential because there aren't many jobs for a big city and the suburbs are so entrenched, none of the stereotypical cool kids are moving there. True. Yeah, the work situation is a problem. The housing is coming downtown now. You know, get the grocery store. I don't know. Things could change hopefully quickly, but we'll see. Oh, Patty, you have Metromax 44s on your Macho Man. Nice. Oh, Sam, you said you could fit 45s on your cross check? What year was your cross check? Because I didn't feel like, well, Brad went fenders too. So the one we were just looking at, he had fenders. So I think he was more in the 38 range with fenders on that one. But I want to say that's like a 2011 as well, Patty. What color's your, I can't remember, what color is yours? Hey, what's up, Chris Alto? You got 45s on your straggler. Yeah. Is it only 10 o'clock? Wow. Why does it feel like we've covered so much ground? Usually when we talked about like so much stuff, I feel like it's like midnight. Yeah. Sam, yours was 2014 or 2015. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Charles, you have mustache bars on your cross check. I So as you guys know, I did a video riding Otis's Gunner rock tour with he had those carbon mustache bars. Were they whiskey or something? And I loved them. I am like so drop bars that like I put sort of the corner bars onto my old winter mountain bike to have the feeling of drop bars, and I really like the mustache bars. I My friend Ryan Berge had been telling me forever. He's like, get some mustache bars, and now I want to build like that. I'll pudgy because I'm sober and coherent. That's true. Even though I'm drinking a beer tonight, I really have like, except for what a week ago when I came here smashed, and then Saturday night, me and Large and Maris and Funny Brad went out and saw the Bowie movie, and that night I had tied one on. I was really hurting from my leg though, and I had to be on my feet all day at work. That's a cop out and an excuse, but in general, I really have been cutting back. So, Patty has 44s on his 44 Rattlers on the cross check. Okay, more clearance than I thought. So, also does go with my theory of it being a fairly proto gravel bike, right? 7:30. So Rusty said, "All right, shitheads, before he logs out, couple of you guys are doing a coffee outside ride tomorrow at Wendy Park at 7:30. Who gets up at 7:30? Ah, that's why I work for myself, so I never have to see 7:30. No, that I hope you guys have a good time. Wendy Park was probably actually beautiful to watch the sunrise at, but unlikely that I will ever see that happen. So." Patty says he's got some old Nitto mustache bars not doing anything. Loved them last time you had them set up. Yeah, I really liked just, well, one, I was with my back issues lately. It was like fun to be able to be like totally upright, but I did find that like that forward position on the mustache bars gave you that more aero position when you needed it. They were just, I was almost thinking of for my Marin, but I had other parts to build that up, but something just to make it like for a touring bike, just sit up like totally straight. But yeah. Oh wait, I'm falling behind. Charles said the Rock Tour is a cool frame. Yeah, steel steel American made bikes that aren't that pricey. So yeah, like I said, a Gunner would be a bike if I don't own any new bikes. Well, I own one, but it's a 2001 that I bought in 2001. But if I was going to buy a new steel bike, Gunner would be on my list just because they're affordable American made steel bikes. I think they're kind of cool. But yeah. But you said, Tim, some of us have to be up before 10 a.m. I'll Pudgy, you're up at 5 a.m. every day. So I've seen plenty of sunrises. Here's the thing. Yeah, Dylan said must be meeting Lanky. That's a layup. Lanky would put up a call for like a meetup ride, and then he'd be like, Saturday morning, how about 4:30 in the morning? It's like he doesn't say 4:30, but definitely would be saying something very early. I worked on a farm for almost a decade, and I was loading trucks at 5:30 in the morning every day. Now I work for myself, and so I don't get up that time anymore. So I totally understand, and I'm just yeah. I'm just saying, like, to me, that's one of the benefits. Like, I get up, I come down here where my kitchen is, I make a cup of coffee, I go back upstairs, I either look at the papers or YouTube, and if I don't have a shoot in the morning, which is rare, I usually tell people, yeah, exactly, Pudgy. I tell them 10 a.m. because I could answer my emails, do some stuff at a slow pace, and to me, that's like, this is what I earned by busting my ass on a farm for years. But I've watched plenty of sunrises on the job, lifting bags of corn onto pickup trucks first thing in the morning. So, uh, I spent a lot of time getting, and then before that I was a car wash manager, so getting to the car wash in the morning at 6:30 when the cars were already lined up to the street before we were open. So yeah, spent plenty of cold early mornings, spent plenty of really hot early mornings, and now I don't have early mornings anymore. So Rusty said people. So I do like about twice a year. I like to get up and photograph like Virginia Kendall, the park, like early, usually this time of year, and I like set an alarm and drag myself out of bed and get there to see like the sunrise over the hills and like with the Cuyahoga Valley, it's always really misty. I did that a lot more before I was a professional photographer. I still do it once in a while. When I was trying to be a photographer, I did that kind of stuff a lot. But yeah. Hey, what's up, Josh Hayden? He says he agrees fat bikes aren't practical for most people, but for him, a husky petite guy, the fat bike is a great all-arounder. Also have two wheel sets. That makes total sense. Yeah, that's Dimitri. Probably there was a number of years there a few years after I stopped working at the farm where I saw the sunrise because I had not gone to bed yet, not because I was getting up to see the sunrise. So, Patty, you said you were working and up at 4:30 3 days in a row last week. I think I had to one of the trips I went on for work this summer. I don't think it was the Route 66 one. No, it must have been. I think I had to be up really early. Like, yeah, it wasn't 4:30 early though. So Charles says mustache bars. You can make it stand and pedal with ease. Yeah. Charles said a few years back you called Gunner and Richard Schwinn answered. Richard Schwinn answered the phone. That's pretty rad. Budgie said last week you called Rusty and Lanky picked up. You don't need to explain that joke, but thanks, Budgie. Cheesy said amen to self-employment. Yeah, it has its negatives and its positives. For me, it works self-employment, but I understand too. Some people need a schedule. But yeah, the negative is like I've said before. Like when I went to France, there's one night where me and Aaron decided to sit on our bed, drink some wine, and knock out work emails. With any other job I've ever done in my life, I would not have looked at a work email. But working for yourself, it's something that you never totally turn off. I'll be checking my work email while I'm at Nutmeg. The night we ride into New York City, when we hit one bar with Wi-Fi, I will pull out my phone and just make sure there's nothing I need to respond to. That's the downside. To me, the trade-offs of being able to ride my bike some afternoons because I don't have a shoot and I could edit in the evening is a benefit. But yeah, anything in life is a trade-off, right? So. Oh, Rusty said, Tim, see if you can find pics of the new jump lines at OECR. It's not really your thing, but yeah, let's check it out. Someone posted pictures. Who posted pictures of that? Huh. I need a more like just Googling that's not going to work. I need like a Facebook group or like do they have an Instagram page or something like that? Because yeah, just Googling it is not cutting it for that search. Hey, what's up, Grand Subject? So the winter tires on my truck, they're 26, but what brand and size did I go with? Um, Mine are 45 North Gravdell. I think they're 2.1s. They might be 2.3, but they're like right in there. It's a 2001 mountain bike, so they're no wider than 2.3. It wouldn't fit it. But yeah, 45 North Grabdells. They're perfect for me. They're not overly aggressive, but they have a lot of steel studs. So, but they're not like the ones that are just risen and unique. So it's still comfortable to ride it on days that are just a little bit slushy, or even dry pavement. It doesn't. They're not horrible. So they're definitely like commuter style. So Large said lots of fun just to change it up. Sometimes morning rides are nice here and there. Yeah, Large is a commuter too, so he rides into work every morning. So hey, what's up, Diversity Love? School traffic, yeah, I know. After the summer ends, and even I don't ride in the morning that often, but right now I'm dealing with it in the afternoon. Tim's over here time shaming Rusty. 7:30? Come on. Coffee ride during the week at 7:30? Diversity said, "So excited you put handlebars so you can change the angle." Yeah, especially if you, yeah, if you like me, if you have back issues, to be more upright is great. Yeah. I don't know what folding pedals are. Folding pedals. I don't know what that is. Give me a brand name or something to look up on the folding pedals. Chris said gonna try the 45 North Grabdells next. They're good. They're a good mix. I think the thing they're best for is like city streets with some snow on them or slush. You know, deep snow. I'm riding in other people's tracks, but deep snow. Not deep snow, but like layered snow. Doesn't really matter because you're going to struggle through it anyways. That's probably more fat bike territory. But what is this? One little curl sneaking out of my hat. Oh, Rusty said he dropped a couple pics of OECR in the Discord. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's wild. I saw when they were building this out, not when it actually had grass on it and all that. So, no, I didn't see it in person, but I saw the photos of it. That'd be fun just to ride. I'm obviously not doing the jumping, but Party Size says I'm still working right now. Fuck y'all. Well, Party Size on a night where I wasn't streaming or riding my bike, like I'm usually like last night at this time I was working too. I mean, no one's making me do it, but I have to get it done. So I work late into the evening all the time. I'll work till like it'll be like 11:15, and I'm like, all right, stop editing photos, go to bed, pick it up tomorrow. But yeah, so yeah, it looks really cool, Rusty. Pudgy said you'll be working 7 hours. Has anyone used the Concrete Thudbuster seat post? Is that like the Redshift stuff where it has the elastomers in it? Pudgy, we should do, okay, Thursday. Pudgy, Thursday will just be a full bike pick stream. Like we're gonna go back through bike picks for a while. That's what we'll do. So I'd say I'm gonna start now, but I don't want to start now because I'm only gonna stream for a couple more minutes because I'm just going totally tired right now. Oh, what do they? I don't get it. What do they do? The axle is here. Oh, it's just for storage. You never ride them in the other position. So it's just if you have a tight space, right? Am I right? I get it. Holding pedals. I mean, I get. I was never familiar with this concept, but I'm not. Since I've got back into cycling, you guys know I'm not limited on space. I have a ton of space down here, so it's something I've never thought about. So you pull that switch, and then you could fold them up. Okay. Huh. That's new to me. Chris said those don't look fat kid friendly. Jay Danny's asking about maps. PNW Coast. Were you guys saying that's a seat post? Oh, is this the one that has some travel in the dropper post? So you could set it so it could bounce a little bit? Oh, suspension. Okay, I do know this. I've watched a video somewhere on this. Dual chamber hydraulic cartridge. My buddy just put a Redshift, like one of the ones that has like the rubber elastomers on his gravel bike, which is a Cannondale. Maybe does he have a Topstone? I can't remember. But I've always just felt like if like with a bike that has enough tire clearance, I would go that route. But what was Dylan saying? His reason was for on the cargo bike. Uh, oh, the rear tire isn't really close to under the seat. The suspension of the tire is lost. Actually, has a really harsh ride. That makes sense to me. If a bike has room for wider, more supple tires, that's the route I'd go for suspension. But yeah. Oh, someone said the pedals are also good for trying to get your bike in small cars. That makes sense. Yeah. I didn't know fold up pedals existed. I literally just never looked it up. Let's see. I was reading some of the comments in the Discord. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Like Thursday, yeah, Robert. Thursday will be a total Discord night because we're talking about the what do you call them? Fillmore valves, which I thought were interesting, and Dylan had some opinions on those, so that'd be worth talking about. The podcast links. Dylan had some really cool bike picks, but like I said, I am literally feel like I'm falling asleep. I'm still dealing with the sciatica pain issue, and I'm not sleeping well, and I'm really tired. So, but Diversity asked if the Rubix friction drive is worth it. That is something I have no idea about either. Oh, is it this? Portable e-bike conversion kit. Conversion kits, Diversity Love, I don't have an opinion on, but like I'll say real quick, I was talking to Large and some people who sell like the hub ones and like all that stuff. And people say that most bikes, like your regular bike, isn't designed to be converted to an e-bike, and the torque just chews them up. And it's better just to buy an e-bike than to buy a conversion kit for your regular bike. I'm sure there are hardy enough bikes out there, but I tend to subscribe to that too. If you want an e-bike, get an e-bike. Don't throw a conversion kit on some normal bike. But Party Size says, "Oh, I have some opinions on Fillmore valves, and you people are going to hear about them." They're trying to put roach clips out of business, for Christ's sake. Oh, Party Size says because you can't put caps on them other than Fillmore caps. Gotcha. Party Size. Most people are, well, some of you are probably getting those jokes, but yeah. Friction drive is shit, said Dragonhead. Yeah, I. Pudgy. So basically, the concept he's saying is the Fillmore caps don't work with Roach Clips caps because those are Presta or Schrader. Uh, yeah, don't convert regular bikes to e-bikes. Either get an e-bike or ride a regular bike. I think is the way to go. Party Size said about the Fillmore valves, easier to seat, everything else is worse. Really, when watching bikepacking.com's videos, there seemed to be very little downside to the Fillmore valve. That's interesting to hear because I would have, I think that's the only video I watched is bikepacking.com's, and it seemed to make it seem like it was like a perfect solution to for tubeless. But it's good to hear some real world experience that it's not that great. No. Well, if you know Pudgy, then why don't you not understand the Woody joke? Oh, Dragon said he did a hub motor drive conversion too. Don't do it. That's what my friend Wes, who I started riding with, was asking me about if they would do that at Dirty River Bicycle Works, and that's when Large was saying he's like, no, they just ruined bikes. So Pudgy, I think you're getting tired too. It was a joke. All right, Rusty, good night. Same with me. I'm out of here as well. I know it's not that late. I'm exhausted. Dylan's out. We're all out. Thursday, we will look at some bikes and some cool photos that I've just seen that are in the Discord. That'll be the plan. I'm doing senior portraits with my niece on Thursday afternoon, but early evening, but I'll be back, so I plan to stream. But that blows my mind because literally remember holding her as a newborn baby. But done got older. All right, guys. See you at 9 o'clock on Thursday. Also, someone I mentioned at the beginning about an earlier stream. I think we might do a slightly earlier one with Micah because he has a new titanium bike I think we should bring on and talk about. And 9 o'clock is a little late for him because he's a teacher. But all right, guys, we will continue this in 2 days.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay, this is not
Fitzwater photo.